All right, morning, loved ones. I'm doing the challenge today, so 10 verses, 10 minutes, and you're like, it don't take a whole minute to read one verse. I'm explaining why it's called 10 minutes, 10 verses, 10 minutes. So challenge starts now. Okay, Proverbs chapter 17, and we're going through verse 1 through 10. I might be able to get in more in 10 minutes. I'm looking at 10:02. Okay, here we go. Verse 1. Better a dry crust with peace and quiet than a house full of feasting with strife. Okay, heads up. You crusty bread is nasty, but it's bread. I mean, I don't know. You can try it, but they said a dry crust of bread. I don't even know if you get the full bread. You get the crust of it. You don't even get the bread part. Like with the, it ain't like a nice yeast roll from Cracker Barrel. No, it said it's better to have a dry crust of bread, but eat it in peace and quiet in your wherever you at. Your woosah moment, than to be in a house full of feasting. So you got whatever you enjoy eating. So whatever that is, steak and potatoes, pasta and salad and whatever you like to eat that would be considered a feast. I'm thinking of like Thanksgiving, house full of food. But to be in a house full of food with strife, no. Imagine like Thanksgiving if a bunch of people come over that's just like and you be like, you know what, I ain't even hungry. I done lost my appetite. Y'all doing too much. I'm good. Like I'm about to go sit on the porch and just be like, just give me a cracker on the porch. It's a little juice. I have my own communion on the porch. Y'all doing too much. Okay, so that was verse 17. I mean chapter 17, verse 1. Ready? Okay, so verse 2. A prudent servant will rule over a disgraceful son and will share the inheritance as one of a family. So if a servant is prudent, and prudent means basically being careful and thinking about what you're doing before you do it, thinking about how that action is going to impact yourself, others. Is it the right time? Are you saying it in the right way? You're being careful, you're being mindful, you're being prudent. So a servant is going to end up ruling over a disgraceful son. So a son should be like next in line to be able to make decisions and have, opportunities. But if he's a disgraceful son, you showing out and like, really, you did that? It says the prudent servant will share in the inheritance as one of the family members, more so than the son who actually is in the family but not doing what he's supposed to be doing. Okay? And you can apply that in spiritually too. Like, come on now. Verse 3. The crucible for silver, the furnace for gold, but the Lord tests the heart. Ask God to test your heart and show you yourself before you have to get exposed to other people. Get yourself right with yourself and God, so that you don't do harm to others. Get your heart right, because everything flows from your heart. It ain't a head problem, it's a heart problem, right? Verse 4. A wicked person listens to deceitful lips. A liar pays attention to destructive tongue. There's a lot of verses in the Bible that tell us to pay attention and guard our mouth. But this is saying, look, if you listen to deceitful lips, you wicked. A liar pays attention to destructive language. Why? Because they feeding off of it. So did you, we talk about don't gossip, but this one just lay it out. No, you dirty if you listening to it. So we be like, well, I ain't say it. She was talking. I was listening. I was like, no, well, what you listening to her for? Because she talking about destructive stuff. She's starting conflict and drama. And I didn't mean to say her because that's assuming it's a woman thing. That's my bias. I apologize. And it's a very conscious bias I have that women is messy. And that's not true because it's messy men too. It's messy people. But the Bible call you jokers wicked. And calling for myself. Every time I engage in a conversation where I'm like, okay, who am I talking about? Why am I talking about this person? This ain't right what we saying. Then I'm wicked. Whether I'm the listener or the talker, I'm being trifling. Okay, verse 5. Looking at my clock. Okay, verse 5. Whoever mocks the poor shows contempt for their maker. Who's their maker? God. Whoever gloats over disaster will not go unpunished. How you gonna make fun of somebody who's less than? Duh. But we got grown people doing stuff like this. And then we wonder why the kids show out. You all, if somebody is the less fortunate position, a disadvantaged position, however you want to, that is for your heart to try to be able to say, okay, what can I do? What can I pray for? What agencies can I help support? Work, something. But you shouldn't look at a poor situation and be like, that's why they on welfare. That's why you don't know what services you're going to need. You don't know what tomorrow holds for you. You may be at the soup kitchen too, the rescue mission or what have you. You don't know. So to mock somebody in an unfortunate situation that they don't want to be in, don't nobody want to be poor. Don't nobody want to be struggling. Don't nobody want to have a poverty mindset. They have it. It doesn't mean they want it. They may be in a situation they don't know how to get out of. So if God give you the good sense to be quote unquote better in your own mind thinking, then really be better and offer support. Do that. Verse 6, children's children are a crown to the age. Your grandkids are going to bless you. And parents are the pride of their children. Pointing out, this says, parents are the pride of the children, verse 6. We always say, oh, my kids is my pride and joy. Usually, actually, people don't say that about their kids. Grandparents would say, my grandbaby is my pride and joy. This verse says, parents are the pride of their children. Parents, don't be doing stuff to intentionally embarrass your kids. Because you're the parent. You know what you look like when you went into Walmart. Why you hollering at them in front of everybody at Walmart? Holler at them in the car. Actually, you ain't got to holler. Just say it. Because they so used to you hollering, they ain't listening. I heard somebody tell me, you know what, the only thing that can happen after a lot of barking is a bite. Which means if you keep on hollering, yelling, threatening, your kid's going to tune you out. And the only way they're going to respond is when you actually lash out and bite. And that's when you're like, I got to go upside the head. You don't have to. You could talk to them if you quit hollering and you actually just speak to them like they got sense and talk to them like a human. But you hollering and all of a sudden you wonder why you got to keep getting all big and puffed up because they like, at this point it's a joke. Like they looking at you like really this is the best your authority got is. You got to halfway throw something at me or beat me or cuss me out to think you being impactful because you're not. You look stupid. And it says we're supposed to be the pride of our children, not the embarrassment of our children. So don't be doing stuff that you know is out of pocket. It's a subject I want to hit, but I'm not going to hit. But I might. If you're in transition in terms of relationships, don't embarrass your kids. And it's a whole bunch of stuff that you, come on people, a God. Why he coming over to your house in front of your, first of all, I'm going to lay that one. And like you say, Chantel, you being judgy. Listen, all y'all know what it's like to be a kid and be embarrassed and be like, you know, my mama, and you didn't embarrass your kids. Not because you're doing what's best for them or because you corny or because you can't dance, like the fun stuff that embarrasses your kids. I'm talking about that stuff where your kids be like, okay. Yeah, you how you gonna show up somewhere drunk, real drunk? And you just said real drunk, like it's like a half drunk. Anyway, pray about that one. Verse 7, eloquent lips are suited to a godless, are unsuited to a godless fool. How much more worse lying lips to a ruler? So it's like you lie to a ruler, you're going to be in the situation. But you trying to speak and make sense to somebody who just straight up foolish. What are you doing? That's like casting your pearls on swine. Just stop. And this has nothing to do with trying to minister to unbelievers. Don't even mix this up. This is somebody who just straight up boom ziggity. And you sitting there trying to explain, And you trying to be all eloquent with it. No, keep it short and simple. Look, I'm not finna be going back and forth with somebody. It's some conversation you don't need to have because it's like you're not gonna come out. Ain't nobody gonna be benefited. Just move on. Keep it short and sweet, and move along because it's just like, what are you investing? Come on. Verse 8. A bribe is seen as a charm by the one who gives it. They think success will come in every turn. I'm throwing this out there because sometimes, I know as a teacher, I would try to either bribe or bully my students. Hey, you guys, do this. I give you a pizza party. Do your work. Learn how to read. Focus. Be quiet. Then it would flip to a bully, because the same person who will bribe you, if you don't take the bribe, now they mad. I was coming at you nice. I was offering you something. So now you won't do what I want you to do because that was the whole goal of the bribe, to get you to do what I wanted you to do. I'm trying to manipulate you. And so now you're not going to take the bribe so I can feel like I was doing something good and this worked out fine. Now I got to be the bully. Oh, okay, now I'm going to threaten you. I'm mess with some stuff. Whatever. Black mama bully. You going to do this homework. Oh, you don't want to read? You ain't going outside. So now I'm going to go from the bribe to the bully. And them two places is real close. So don't try to bribe people. If somebody don't want to do something, they don't want to do it. But you trying to bribe them and charm them and trick them and pull them along, don't do that. That's a phone ringing somewhere. Honey, telephone. Okay. So going to verse 9. And my time is up. Almost. Did I do 10 minutes? Okay, it's 10:11. I started at 10. No, 9 minutes 45 seconds. Okay, I got one. 10-minute challenge. It says verse 9. Whoever would foster love covers an offense, but whoever repeats the matter separates close friends. And a rebuke impresses a discerning person more than 100 lashes on the fool. Boom, that's 10 minutes. I got to stop. I didn't get to explain the other two, so actually I did not pass the challenge. But verse 9, when it says, whoever would foster love covers an offense. The next time you're offended, cover it in love. The next time someone you know is offended, help them cover it in love. It says in verse 9, if you repeat the matter, you will separate close friends. It's no confusion to that. I was told, only repeat what you want to repeat. So if I'm going to repeat that something happened, that's because I want it to happen again. If it was something horrible or sad or conflicting or something like that, I was offended, I'm not going to keep repeating and telling people how I was offended, because all I'm doing is reliving that offense. My brain can't tell the difference between what I'm actually experiencing as far as physically and what I think I'm experiencing. Perception is reality, right? My body's, you ever had a sad moment and you thought about it and you started to cry, but you're like, I'm not even in that moment no more. Had a scary moment, you thought about it, and then something hit you. You triggered your own stuff. Your mind took you back to a spot. So quit repeating stuff that offended you, because you're going to stay mad. And you're going to keep having to re-forget a person in your own mind because you keeping up stuff. Don't do that. You will separate not just close friends, but family relationships. Don't be telling people stuff you know they can't handle. If you mad at somebody, don't tell your mama that she going to be mad at them. Don't repeat the offense, because all it does is separate and divide relationships. And then verse 10 just said, a rebuke impresses a discerning person more than 100 lashes. So if you're a discerning person, somebody rebuke you and you be like, you was wrong for that. A discerning person would be like, okay, yeah, I was wrong for it. A fool you can hit with 100 lashes. And at the end of it, you're like, did you know your lesson? They be like, yeah, not to get caught. You don't want to be a fool and have to get 100 lashes before a point is made and you don't even get the lesson you learned. A discerning person will take an open rebuke and be like, you know what, you're right. I need to check myself. I need to do what I need to do to be right, and take that to the Lord. So have a wonderful day. I did go over 10 minutes, so I did not meet the challenge. But I do challenge you, get into the book of Proverbs. Walk through it. Talk to yourself through it. Let the Holy Spirit lead you and guide you, because what we don't want to be is fools. The Bible says you ain't supposed to call another person a fool. We do not want to be a fool. We do not want to be foolish. We don't want to look like a fool. We don't want to be a fool. And we don't want to raise little fools because they're looking at big fools as examples. So let's walk in wisdom. Let's walk in integrity, and let's walk in the book of Proverbs as we walk closer to the Holy Spirit. Love you, family.